The vast majority of news in the US is controlled by five huge corporations, and News Voice is fighting back against media monopolies. It's the first ever entirely open, crowdsourced, democratized platform for news. Use the link right underneath this video to download the News Voice app for free. Michael Bloomberg is reportedly preparing to enter the presidential race. Michael Bloomberg is a 77-year-old billionaire, originally from right down the road from our studio in Brighton, Massachusetts. He's been the mayor of New York City. He has switched from Republican to Democrat in the last year or two. He's been an independent at different points in his life, I believe. He's always been independent-minded to the extent that that means anything in the modern political status quo of a relatively narrow Overton window of what's acceptable. And his idea of running for president is absolutely terrible. Now, I know that there's a lot of people just tweeting stuff like, we don't need another billionaire in the race, a sentiment I shared on Twitter. And that's true. I mean, this would make Michael Bloomberg the second billionaire in the Democratic primary, along with Tom Steyer. And if you won the primary, the race becomes 73-year-old billionaire against 77-year-old billionaire. Not exactly the wide range of choice that you would imagine you could get from a country of 340 million people. Okay, that's fine. But I actually don't think, listen, if I had to have a billionaire as president who has political experience and is a smart politician, if you frame it up that way, of course I want Bloomberg over Donald Trump. Of course I want Bloomberg over many other billionaires. Michael Bloomberg, to me, is a combination of a guy who has made himself very rich through his business and also, as he sees it, wants to serve to the extent that he believes that that's what he's doing. But this is just not who we need in the race right now. And I would actually make the case that if Michael Bloomberg wants to help remove Trump, there are other way more effective ways he can do it than simply running for president. There's a report that Amazon founder Jeff Bezos reportedly asked Michael Bloomberg to run, which really shows us the class-based realities of our society. You are turbo billionaire Jeff Bezos. You don't like the way that billionaire President Donald Trump is running the country. So your idea is, let's replace him with a different billionaire, Michael Bloomberg, one with a different, certainly level of intelligence and sophistication and different politics. It's the epitome, actually, of the American class hierarchy. Now, let's assume for a second that Michael Bloomberg genuinely just wants to remove Donald Trump. He acutely and specifically is considering getting into this presidential race because he believes Trump is terrible for the country. Rather than running for president, which risks helping Trump, actually, by pulling some Democratic support, who knows if maybe he'll end up running an independent campaign or write-in or something and actually ends up helping Donald Trump get reelected. There are any number of ways that Michael Bloomberg could actually help remove Donald Trump. Buy Fox News or pour money into something that will fight Fox News instead of his milquetoast Bloomberg TV, which is not a blip on the radar. That would be a genuinely good use of his reportedly $53 billion. This has been suggested by a few people. I saw Jennifer Rubin write an article about it. I believe Kellyanne Conway's husband might have tweeted about this. If Bloomberg buys Fox News and just shuts it down or turns it into something else, that alone could torpedo Donald Trump's reelection, much more so than Bloomberg running for president. We've actually discussed before, if Nixon had had Fox News in the 1970s, he might have survived his forced resignation. There have been other ideas floated around. Again, Jennifer Rubin has a piece on this. She says Bloomberg could spend billions on a campaign for automatic voter registration and voting by mail. That would help Donald Trump be removed. He could revive the local newspaper industry single-handedly all over the country. Imagine if we had like 5 more big papers like the Washington Post and New York Times doing investigative work, plus a bunch of medium and smaller newspapers keeping politicians accountable. That would help remove Trump. Bloomberg could spend a couple of his $53 billion to support and promote whoever is the Democratic nominee, all of whom are much more likely to actually win than Michael Bloomberg is if he enters the race right now. The only thing that I admit I'm sort of tickled by about the possibility of a Bloomberg presidency or even a Bloomberg candidacy, there are actually 2 things. One is a Jewish candidate. I think it would just rile up Trump and bring out the anti-Semitic ideas that are buried in his mind and in the minds of the people around him. Nobody would be able to resist, just like if Bernie were the nominee. Okay, that's a small thing. But the other thing that appeals to me about Bloomberg running for president and being the nominee, again, I don't think he should enter. He's not someone I would support. But Donald Trump would be hugely triggered by running against a guy who is genuinely a super rich dude, much more so than Donald Trump is. It's not about comparing multi-billionaires to billionaires, but remember, Trump ran on his supposed business success and being so rich that he's not bribable, which is sort of the same thing. They both relate to money that he's made in business. But Trump has at most three to 4 billion. If we saw those tax returns, we might realize it's actually a lot less. Bloomberg has $53 billion. Bloomberg is at minimum 14 times richer than Trump, if not more. And I don't know that Trump would be able to handle that. I think it would be very interesting. Now, as far as Bloomberg entering the race, in one sense, it's already going terribly for him. According to a new Morning Consult poll from yesterday, Bloomberg is instantly more disliked than any other Democratic candidate so far. But he also has 4% support in polling, despite the fact that he's not officially in the race yet, which is more than Klobuchar, it's more than Booker, it's more than Yang, it's more than Gabbard, it's more than Beto, Castro, Tom Steyer, and all of those other people that are around zero. So Bloomberg actually could end up in some debates if he does run. Hopefully, it'll be like Starbucks founder Howard Schultz, who thought about it and then decided against it. We will see. Let me know what you think about the possibility of a Bloomberg candidacy. I'm on Twitter at @DPakman. Follow the show as well at David Pakman Show.